The BUL Armory SAS 2 TAC 4.25 is here. Coming up, you'll see absolute first shots, cold impressions, full magazine +1, take it over for what's for dinner to see what it eats, then to the spinner for sights and trigger control, followed by some practical accuracy before giving you concluding thoughts. Coming up next on GBGuns. You have to pardon the noisy neighbors in this video. There was a match at this range yesterday, and so it was closed then. And as typical, the day after the match, there's always folks practicing. So there's some speed steel going on next door at really close ranges. So we're getting a wonderful lead bath over here of SPAL. Get the target camera set up. We've got our reduced size torso out there at about 22 yards or so. I'm pretty excited about this. I enjoyed the TAC 2 ultralight 3.25 so much that it's actually on my hip right now. I've been carrying it in these warmer months because it's so comfortable. The only thing I don't like about it is I wanted a little more barrel, and the TAC 4.25 gives you that 4 inches, which is ideal for 9mm. At least that's what M was loaded for, plus 1/4. So it's very similar to my K100. It's just a single action only. Got Winchester white box. First 10 rounds, just to give it a feel. Get my grip angle figured out. Oh, that's pretty smooth. I tried to race it, thought maybe I could get it. The gun wants to be raced. That is really comfortable, very, very easy to shoot. This is gonna be fun. All right, moving straight on to full magazine +1. This is a test of the magazine, since they are BUL Armory's magazines, as well as the gun's tolerances, etc. Also have a Winchester white box. Now in the tabletop, I said 17 rounds. I was able to get 18 rounds into this one. So that gives us 19 rounds on tap. That might be overstuffed. Will Winchester white box have the energy to run it? And how quickly can I do this and ideally still hit the steel? Those early shots sure were dead center. Let's see. That's really fun. This is one heck of a shooter. Wow. All right, let's see what it eats and what's for dinner. Thanks to our Ammo Squared and patron supporters, it's what's for dinner time. As we roll by here, you'll notice that each of these loads, going from 90 grain up to 150 grain today, has different projectile shape, different case material, different ogive locations. All of these impact whether or not the gun will eat it. So that's what we're looking to find out. Will it feed from side lock? Is there enough energy to properly cycle and load another round of the same type? Again, the third round just to reduce variables. And then lastly, we're looking for slide lock on empty. If you're curious to try any of this stuff yourself, check out the link over at gbgunsdepot.com. We post links to this stuff where we can find it. This will be interesting, as you guys may have seen in the intro there, using some loads that I've never shot before. So that'll be fun. Target camera is set up. We are 7 yards away. Those are 2-inch circles. I really ought to just put some 1-inch dots on there, so I've got a finer point of aim and make it a little bit easier for me. But really, it's about, does the gun cycle the ammo, not my accuracy. So whatever, deal with it, Graham. First load is one that is absolutely new to me, 1776 USA, 90 grain. It's lead free. Got it through our Ammo Squared subscription, and it's a different projectile that I've seen in other lead free loads. So it's not just a reloading shop, if you will, or at least they sourced their projectile somewhere else. Very light load. A bit of a chlorinated scent to it, but no issues for this pistol. As I load these mags, the one complaint that I have on the BUL Armory magazines is when they're empty, the follower gets hung up a little bit on the leading edge. I've seen it in other 2011 style magazines. I think it's just a design quirk that's part of the design, what happens when you shape a mag this way. But so the first round, you have to kind of tuck the follower under. Second load is Hornady Critical Defense Light, 100 grain. These are the itty bitty 380 looking rounds. They are the start, or the reason why this test started, because at the time, and this was 2015, there were a lot of guns that didn't like it. Circle 2. No issue cycling, felt very comfortable. That nice delayed recoil impulse that you get from hammer fired guns was extra stretched shooting that stuff. As I go through these, you might be wondering too and thinking, hey, is that a competition gun or a defensive gun? Why are you running all these loads? Well, I'd argue it could be any of the above. So we've got that mix, including SIG Elite Defense V-Crown 115 grain. These tend to be a little bit snappier. Circle 3. Nice shooting round. And though they are snappier in other guns, I was not feeling it in this thing. Probably because I got my whole hand on there, and then that hammer fired advantage. I know hammer fired sort of making a comeback thanks to double stack 1911s, but I've, as you know, always been a fan of it, largely in part because it's just smoother shooting to me. Next, Blazer aluminum 115 grain. Just did a deep dive on that on GBGunsDepot.com, comparing it with other range loads, but we use the steel and aluminum case because, well, it's, believe it or not, still cheaper than brass because it's cheaper to make, but you get different friction coefficient on the case. As a result, you've got more friction inside the magazine, more friction going into and out of the chamber, and then the expansion and contraction rate is also different. So some guns don't like it. No problem for the TAC 4.25. Our next load is going to be Wolf Steel Case 115 grain. I thought this stuff was no longer available, but I found a source. Circle 5. Man, just smooth. This really is an impressive handgun to shoot. It's not cheap, so you're paying for that, but it's one of those times when you're actually getting what you're paying for, I think. Next load is Black Hills 124 grain jacketed hollow point. Black Hills makes excellent rifle ammo. Their handgun ammo tends to be pretty good too. A little snappier. But controllable and no issues. Now moving on to 138 grain is the Federal Syntec synthetic jacketed hollow point. These are the fragmenting ones that break apart into 3 wings, if you will, and then the 4th piece being that core. Comfy, surprisingly comfy. That stuff's got a little more recoil to it, but I'm not feeling it. All right, we'll keep stepping it up. We'll see what happens. Including the Winchester Defender bonded 147 grain can be quite unpleasant in little guns. No struggles at all. All right, let's step it up even more. This is some solid core Federal 147 grain. They, without saying it, they're saying it. There's a grizzly on the cover of this. I don't know if I'd take 9mm to a grizzly fight. Let me know in the comments if you would, but solid core 147 grains definitely deliver some energy. Oh yeah, it's got energy. Smells a bit like a campfire too. I could feel there was more recoil on that load, but it was comfy. And speaking of comfy, the gamer load, the Syntec 150 grain action pistol, this is stuff specifically formulated to meet energy requirements while still being soft and easy to shoot. In fact, I've heard stories of some guys showing up to matches with this, and when they chrono it, not having enough energy to qualify. I don't know details further than that. I don't play games anymore, but let's see how it does. Definitely subsonic. Very comfortable to shoot. Hint of like artificial cinnamon on that. Smells a little sweet. There you have it. Yeah. Getting rained on by lead by our neighbors. Is it a competition gun? Is it a defensive gun? Ammo-wise, looks like it'll run everything. Let's take it over to the spinner. That is our 6-inch Titan Great Outdoors spinner target, about 13 yards away. Use this target for sights and trigger control because, well, it's a small target that starts moving as I hit it. I'm standing next to the camera. Winchester white box, got 8 rounds here. As I hit this thing, it starts moving. That makes timing a well-placed shot all the more important, which is why this is great for learning sights and trigger control on a pistol. If I get over the top, that'd be great. Should with a little extra energy coming out of this longer barrel. And we killed the target. That was easier than I expected. I took a little break from shooting this thing, headed over to our neighbors, you can hear practicing speed steel, and found a guy running a staccato. Gave it to him, had him take a run with it. He was impressed. Thought it was very easy shooting, very flat shooting, and agreed with me on the trigger, which, as we saw there, really easy to time. I mean, it's a 1911 trigger, so of course it's going to be crisp and excellent. The blacked out sights, I'm not a fan of. I like a blacked out rear, but I would like some color in the front just for some contrast against the target. That obviously could be replaced or fixed by throwing a red dot on there and then just going full cheat mode. But it was way easy with this gun. Let's do some 5 shots from 7 yards and then wrap this up. The practical accuracy portion is when I collect my final thoughts on the gun. Got a 1-inch square 7 yards away, the left circle square, and I like to use this target because it tends to be about the same size as the front sight post, which makes for an excellent aiming point. Winchester white box as the ammunition for this basic ammo. Let's see how we do. Not bad. Concluding thoughts after a range session with the BUL Armory SAS 2 TAC 4.25. This is a pretty sweet gun. This is the trigger weight. The trigger's nice and crisp and predictable. You can time your shots, control your shots, but the weight is not so light that it would be a risk to carry if you're a trained shooter. It eats ammunition from basic range fodder through defensive ammunition. Does it all very comfortably, very soft shooter, and it's ready for the next shot before you are. It's just a like stupidly pleasant range experience. When I got this, got word this was coming, I immediately ordered both inside and outside the waistband holsters, thinking maybe I'll want to carry. Also thinking with training events that Tia and I have coming up in July and September, might want to take this with, and I think I will. It's just a nice shooter, and it lets you really focus on everything else because the gun almost does the shooting for you. I've been carrying the 3.25 SAS 2 Ultralight that we reviewed previously as a lightweight summer gun because it is a lightweight gun, and then I throw that Liberty 50 grainer in there, and it really doesn't weigh anything on my hip. The grip's a little broad, of course, because of the double stack, but man, what a fantastic pistol. This is really a treat. I know double stack 1911s have been all the rage lately. There are some more affordable options out there that I wasn't too impressed with. And then there's the really expensive ones out there that I just can't justify. I don't see a pistol being worth that much to shoot. With this being kind of middle ground on price and spectacular to shoot, I really don't see why anyone would want to spend more. Man, the only I guess catch would be that it doesn't take your standardized double stack 1911, 2011 magazines. It takes their own design, but those are available. So get what you need. I mean, it came with 3, and you should be good to go. No complaints. The front sight is the only thing that I think I would change. That's it. Spectacular gun, definitely worth taking a look at the BUL Armory SAS 2 TAC 4.25. Long name, great gun. Thanks for watching.